Good afternoon. I'm Sheriff Michelle Cook from Clay County, and I am here today on behalf of the Cold Case Advisory Commission. I am the chair of that state commission. I am joined today by Sheriff T.K. Waters and State Attorney Melissa Nelson. The Cold Case Commission is a commission that was developed in 2012 as a concept to help support especially our smaller agencies and smaller counties throughout the state to continue the conversation about those who were murdered and whose cases go unsolved. The Florida Sheriff's Association back in 2012 actually traveled to Texas to review a similar program that Texas has had in place since 1985, and they found great value in it. So they brought that model back here, and the FSA board actually approved this Cold Case Commission in 2012. The purpose of this commission is to provide technical and legal assistance to our sheriffs for unsolved homicides, missing persons, or unidentified human remains where homicide is suspected. The definition of a cold case is where investigative leads have been exhausted, the witnesses are still available, DNA and other evidence exists with a good chain of custody, and the case officers believe that there is solvability potential. The membership of our Cold Case Commission is multidisciplinary, including seasoned homicide detectives, forensic scientists, prosecuting attorneys, statewide prosecutors, victims advocates, and a forensic pathologist, anthropologist, and also includes Ryan Bachman, who's here, I said victims advocate, huge partner with us in this. You know, as a commission, we do not solve cases, but what we do is we provide advice to detectives, to agencies on leads or other investigative techniques that may help them solve it. Funding for DNA lab analysis can be provided through the Florida Sheriff's Association for selected cases when the funds are not available to by any other means by the requesting sheriff. At the request of a sheriff, an investigative team can be assigned to go on site to review case files, and then they report those findings directly to the sheriff or the sheriff's designee. But as a matter of practice, we do not touch evidence or interview witnesses. As I stated, the purpose of this commission is to share legal updates on technology, and network with other experts in the field to offer insight and advice on how to move forward. We have heard from detectives from across the state about their cold cases, and as a group we brainstorm on where they may go. Today we've reviewed the 1986 St. Lucie case involving a Joe Doe. And after 39 years, and just this year, Joe Doe was identified as with a name of Blaine Lewis Brown Jr. Mr. Brown went missing out of Marion County and is considered an unsolved homicide, so we're asking anybody that may have any information on that to come forward. We also are going to be reviewing the 1997 Indian River County case of James Mitchell. And detectives are here to talk about that case if anybody wants any specifics on that case. And then the Orange County is going to be presenting two cases today, one on Bobby Kidd, who was killed in 2001, and Greg Smith, who was killed in 2000. So again, the goal, the mission, the purpose of this Cold Case Advisory Commission is to, number one, keep the victims' names alive, right? Continue to be out there and work for the families so that we can bring justice to these cases. The goal and the mission of this Cold Case Advisory Commission is to network with other experts across the state and provide guidance and funding to agencies who need help in solving these cases. With that being said, I do want to put a word out about a case that we have in Clay County, which is a cold case, which is Terrell Orcutt. And the lead detective and my chief of investigations is here if anybody has any specific questions about that. But that is a case that we have kept very alive in Clay County, and we ask anybody with any information on her murder to please come forward and contact Crime Stoppers or send us a Safer Watch tip because we need leads on that case. Any questions for me at this time?
What is it usually that, aside from a suspect, might be that one thing that might get a case over the hump to solve a cold case?
You know, it can be anything. It could be a witness who puts a person at a place at a certain point in time. It could be a piece of DNA evidence. As I just stated, we were St. Lucie County was just able to identify Blaine Lewis Brown Jr., and that was DNA evidence that came in 39 years later. So it could be anything. So, you know, what I would say is to anybody who may have a bit of information and think, well, I don't know if this is going to be relevant, please call. Absolutely, please call, because it could be anything.
Is it the commission's role to take from an organization information, they bring it to you and they need funding, that's where you guys route that funding? Did I get that correct?
Yes, we can do that. We can approve funding for things such as DNA analysis, which is how the St. Lucie unsolved Joe Doe case happened. Blaine Lewis Brown was listed as Joe Doe out of St. Lucie County. He was actually a missing person out of Marion County, and it was funding from this commission to help that DNA to actually identify this victim.
Gotcha. Do you know how many there are in Clay County? Are there 4?
I believe we have 4.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm going to let State Attorney Nelson Masker to come up and speak just for a couple of minutes, or a couple of seconds.
Yeah, a couple of seconds. Look, you've heard all of us speak to the importance of and the value of cold case investigations and the detectives who work on this case and the advocates for this work. It's important to not only keep names alive, but to bring answers to families who are waiting for answers and have questions. And so the collaboration inside the room where people are sharing what they're doing, what success they're having, what tools they're using that are lending to newfound evidence is important because it spreads throughout the state. We're really fortunate to have Sheriff Cook taking the leadership of this commission. She has some neat plans about cold case podcasts through the Florida Sheriff's Association, and I think her leadership will breathe good life and energy into the commission as well. So that's the only thing I have to say.
Thank you. All right. Any other questions? All right. We appreciate you guys coming in today. Thank you.
Can I just ask one question? I'm sorry.
Yes.
I know I caught you late. You're on mic in there. When you're looking at having a press conference like this, what is the newest thing about what we're doing and gathering? Does it feel more like an update, like, hey, we meet quarterly, this is what we do? What would I say the newest thing about what we're doing today is?
What's the newest thing about what we're doing today?
Yeah, just making sure that I'm getting the most pressing thing out there. Like, hey, they're meeting today, they're doing updates, asking for information from the public. Did I ask that in a way that makes sense?
No, but you know, what I would say is there a newest thing? Not necessarily, but there's an important thing. And that important thing is these families, right? And reminding these families that we have not forgotten about them, and, you know, advocating for these victims of violence. These are victims of violence whose cases go unsolved. And if we aren't up here talking about it, if you don't have 2 sheriffs and a state attorney up here talking about it, there's the chance that, you know, these lost voices could go unheard. And so, you know, is there something new? No. Is it something incredibly important? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.